What if the image you have of the fierce Viking warrior is only a fragment of the whole picture? When we think of Vikings, we often imagine fearsome, horned helmeted warriors charging into battle. Their legendary raids echo through history, painting a picture of a brutal and savage people. From the late 8th to early 11th century, the Vikings set out from their Scandinavian homelands on epic voyages of conquest and exploration. Their longships, skillfully crafted and swift, became a symbol of impending doom for many coastal settlements across Europe. They were unrivaled seafarers, their navigational skills the stuff of legend. Their arrival would instill fear in the hearts of people, the mere sight of their dragon-headed ships enough to send a shiver down the spine of the bravest warrior. Their reputation as brutal raiders and looters is well known, yet this is only one facet of their rich and complex history. But were the Vikings just brutal raiders and looters? Let's delve deeper into their history. The Viking Age, typically dated from 793 to 1066 AD, was a significant period in the history of the Scandinavian people. This era commenced with a jarring event, the notorious raid on the Lindisfarne Monastery in 793 AD. This raid wasn't a random act of violence but a calculated move, a manifestation of underlying factors that led to the dawn of the Viking Age. One such factor was a surge in population across the Scandinavian region. As resources became scarce, the Vikings sought new lands to cultivate and inhabit. The desire for wealth was another potent motivator. Tales of opulent monasteries and affluent lands beyond their own shores lured these seafaring warriors to venture into the unknown. Yet it's essential to remember that these Norsemen were not just raiders. They were artisans, farmers, and above all, explorers. Their curiosity and courage propelled them to navigate uncharted seas, opening up new trade routes and establishing enduring connections. However, the Vikings were not just raiders, they were also skilled traders and explorers. Imagine a network of trade routes stretching from Greenland to Baghdad, all connected by the Vikings. The Vikings, infamous for their exploits as raiders, were also expert seafarers and savvy traders. Their longships, marvels of the age, forged a network of trade routes that crisscrossed the known world. They reached as far east as the bustling markets of Baghdad, where they traded Baltic amber and furs for precious silks and spices. But their influence wasn't limited to the Old World. The Vikings ventured westward, discovering and settling lands previously unknown to Europeans. They were the first Europeans to set foot on Iceland, transforming it from an uninhabited island into a thriving Norse colony. From there they journeyed further west to Greenland. Despite its harsh, icy landscape, the Vikings established settlements and lived there for several hundred years. And their voyages didn't stop at Greenland. Some scholars suggest that the Vikings may have reached North America, specifically Newfoundland and modern-day Canada, nearly 500 years before Christopher Columbus. If true, it's a testament to their incredible prowess as explorers. These journeys weren't just about discovery, though. They opened new markets, creating trade links with indigenous populations, and exchanging goods like iron, wood, and even slaves. The Vikings' legacy as traders and explorers is as impressive as their reputation as warriors. They didn't just conquer with the sword, but also with trade and exploration. These Norsemen were not only warriors but also pioneers in trade and exploration. All good things must come to an end, and so did the Viking Age. As the echoes of clashing swords and the mighty roars of warriors faded, the Viking Age drew to a close. The final curtain fell in 1066, marked by the Battle of Stamford Bridge. This battle, fought on English soil, was a defining moment, signaling the end of the Viking era. The Viking Age didn't simply vanish overnight, instead it was a gradual decline influenced by several factors. One of the most significant was the Vikings' assimilation into the cultures they had once invaded. Over time, these fierce Norsemen began to adopt the languages, customs, and religions of the lands they'd conquered. They married into local families, establishing roots and blending into the societal fabric. Furthermore, the political landscape of Europe was changing. Kingdoms were consolidating, and the once divided lands became unified under powerful rulers. This shift in power dynamics made it more difficult for the Vikings to carry out their raids and maintain control over their territories. Lastly, Christianity played a vital role in the Viking Age's demise. The Vikings' conversion to Christianity, a religion that emphasized peace and community, diametrically opposed their raiding lifestyle. This shift in religious beliefs brought about a change in their way of life, eventually leading to the end of the Viking era. So the next time you hear about the Vikings, remember they were more than just fierce warriors, they were also skilled traders, explorers, and an integral part of our world history.